Today I'm going to be going through the removal of a stock car stereo system and installing one that I purchased online from Crutchfield. And I'll show you the installation process. It's pretty simple. First thing you need to do is you need to go to the console here and remove these two bolts. Once you remove the two bolts, then you go ahead and remove this plate here. I kind of made a homemade custom remover using duct tape and two knives. I need to invest in a plastic one, but I have not yet, so I'll go ahead and remove that. Okay, in order to get that off, I just simply got them in there and took this trim piece off, which comes off pretty easily. And then I'm just going to get my knife here and go in and remove this around the edges here. Looks like it came out pretty easy. A lot easier than I expected. Okay, so that piece comes off. And I'm just going to set it to the side for now. If you want to remove this, you certainly can by pushing on this little clip here and pulling that right out. Comes out pretty easy. Alright, next step, I'm just going to come under here with my hands and just kind of, you can hear, just pull it and pop this out. Use my little trusty tool that I've created here and get back in there. I'm just going to go around the edges and pop this out. You'll hear it popping as you kind of go around it. It's pretty simple to do. You're going to go around all the edges, up, down, and this you just kind of pop out by hands here down at the bottom using this. Okay, in order to get mine off properly, I actually have to put in the keys and put the gear shifter back. And I actually started at the top here. I actually just got my fingers into it and pulled it out along the sides. And then the bottoms, like I said, I pulled out from there. I didn't even really use my tool much, which is nice. I like to just use my hands. This air vent is stuck in here, so you kind of just have to finagle it out by pulling it out through the bottom, and then it'll come right out. So it's pretty easy. Okay, now that I have this off, there's some manual controls in the back that need to be snapped off. Looks like there's 3 of them, so I'm going to go through and snap each one off. You can see how they come off. This one here has just got a clip there. I'm going to pop off with a screwdriver. The one up above looks like with the easy screwdriver, and the one over on that side I might have to get on the other side of the car. But I just got to pop off all these connections individually. And don't disconnect that one. That's your airbag. So I'm just going to disconnect these and flip it up on top of the car here. Okay, rather than disconnect them all, I actually disconnected one and pushed it off to the side. Looks like we're going to have plenty of room to take out the deck. And then I don't have to mess with unplugging and taking wires out. You could if you want to take an extra 5 minutes and do that. But I've got sufficient room to do this. I'll put it back in park. Turn the radio off because I don't like the power on when I'm dealing with electronics. Okay, now I have this off. There are 4 of these bolts here, and it's a 7mm. I'll go ahead and take those off. Okay, once these are taken off, it slides out very easily. And I'm going to pop it out. We're going to disconnect some of the wires up here. These are all fairly simple. Just looks like I've got 1, 2, 3 of them. Just pop right out. Okay, here's the 3 of them removed. They're very just simple press tabs. You press the tab in, pull it out. You're going to do that one, and then that one just pops right out. That's your antenna. Okay, the kit I bought from Crutchfield came with the set up plug-in. It's got a wiring diagram here that tells you what the colors are and what they should be connecting into. I'm just going to pull out my new radio and start plugging it, tying these into the new radio. Okay, next comes the fun part, is connecting up your speaker wire. This is the packaging that came, It has color coordination on the back, and typically the wires are already color coordinated, so all you need to do is connect the two together. I like to do this at a tabletop where I've got lots of room, and I just go to my user's manual from the stereo that I purchased, and I'm going to have to follow the wiring diagram to verify. But my left front is number 6 and 7, which when I turn the page, 6 and 7 is white, white, and black. So my left front is white and white and black. So they're essentially, I've gone through and already checked these, but they're essentially the same color. So the whites will go with the white, white and black, purple. There's a red, a yellow, a yellow. They have an orange, and mine's an orange and a white, so it's similar. The black will go with the black, and you just connect them up one at a time. I like to use a stripping wire tool. It makes for an easier installation, and I also actually like to tie them and then electrical tape them together in case I need to go back in there and change them in the future when I'm adding an amp or an extra speaker. And that way it allows for not stripping your wires back more and more every time you add onto your system. So I actually like to use that method. Okay, as you can see, I've spliced these two wires together. I actually found some connectors in the garage and said, hey, why not? So I connected them together with some splicers. This particular vehicle, I wanted to run a Bluetooth speaker, so I did that, running that through the, and then down through here, and up, and came out right here. Okay, so that's my Bluetooth speaker that I'm going to hook up. Now, you've got to get the head plate ready, which I can show you here, which essentially, this came as one piece that I purchased, and this piece came on the radio. I had to slip it off using the tool that connects to the side here. You just pop this little locking mechanism off, and it slides right off. Once you put it in here, then you pick up these tabs, so it's in here nice and securely. Once that's in, we can go ahead and mount it inside the hole and run our wires through it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, now that we've connected all those wires, we've just simply put them together, screwed this thing on, connected them in the back, and you just push this thing back in, make sure your wires are out of the way, and this thing just pushes in and clicks in when it's ready to go. One thing I failed to mention is before I pushed this in and plugged it in, I turned on the radio and checked all the speakers, made sure each sound was coming out of the front, the back, the left, the right, in each individual speaker. Made sure it was working correctly before I pushed it in and snapped it all together. I like to do that before I assemble everything back, so now I'm going to go in reverse order and just put everything back together. That's pretty much your installation. Okay, and that's the final product with it all installed.